Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this weekend.
Good evening and thank you for watching News 8 Now this weekend. I'm Emily Haugen. So 2 people were arrested early this morning after a traffic stop in rural Viroqua. According to a press release from the Sheriff's Office, a Vernon County deputy sheriff stopped to check on a vehicle stopped along State Highway 27. The driver, 42-year-old Edward Boyston of Caledonia, had a revoked driver's license and an outstanding warrant for his arrest in Minnesota. The passenger, 24-year-old Mariah Williamson of La Crosse, also had an outstanding warrant in Wisconsin. The Vernon County Sheriff's K-9 helped locate methamphetamine paraphernalia. Other people's debit cards and other people's identification were also found in the card. Both Boydston and Williamson are in the Vernon County Detention Center. And a Gays Mills man was also arrested for a 7th OWI in Crawford County Saturday afternoon. According to a Wisconsin state trooper, conducted a traffic stop for speeding at Highway 131 and Bluebird Lane. He performed sobriety tests and found that 58-year-old Lawrence Nelson was operating while intoxicated. Nelson was then transported to the Crawford County Jail. Well, this week marks 3 years since the death of George Floyd. All day Saturday, people gathered at the intersection where he was murdered at the hands of Minneapolis police. George Floyd's aunt was there, and she reflected on how that space has changed over the years.
It feels much better. It's more of a community. It's not as sad. We had a number of years where you walk through here and it was just sadness. It's like a cloud of sadness over it. Now we're trying to come around and feel better about the area, and it does. It looks different. It feels different. It's more of a community feel to it now.
This is the 3rd annual Rise and Remember Festival at George Floyd Square. Organizers say it's not only to honor Floyd, but also to celebrate each other and the work the community has done together. Well, there are new details about a powerful car explosion that happened last week outside a warehouse in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Investigators are still trying to figure out who set off the homemade explosives. The intensity of the blast was so strong it tore off the roof of the car and launched it into a second story of a building about 100 feet away. A number of one of those properties searched by police says investigators entered the property next door with canines.
They were there for like a long time, and at first it was like just the armored vehicle. But then, I guess, once the threat or whatever they thought was going to be there was gone, then, a bunch of other vehicles pulled up.
Luke Olson was shocked to see all that activity going on in his quiet neighborhood. The person police believe is responsible for the explosion has not yet been criminally charged. And breaking overnight, a deal has been reached to raise the nation's debt limit and avoid a potential economic catastrophe. The late word came from House Speaker Kevin McCarthy and the White House that they have an agreement in principle. With 8 days to go until the country defaults on its bills, it's now up to Congress to get a deal passed and to the president's desk. CBS News correspondent Christian Benavides reports on what this deal means.
We have come to an agreement in principle.
At the Capitol late Saturday night, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy described the deal to raise the nation's debt limit with just days to go until default.
That's historic reductions in spending, consequential reforms that will lift people out of poverty into the workforce, rein in government overreach. There are no new taxes, no new government programs.
President Biden released a statement calling it an important step forward that reduces spending while protecting critical programs for working people. The text of the bill still has to be finalized, but CBS News has learned it would raise the debt limit for 2 years and keep non-defense spending flat.
I expect to finish the writing of the bill, checking with the White House and speaking to the president again tomorrow afternoon, and then posting the text of it tomorrow, and then be voting on it on Wednesday.
But getting it through Congress could be tricky. Some Republicans wanted deeper cuts, while some Democrats are concerned the president gave too much ground, including on work requirements for some federal benefits.
What do you tell Democrats who say that they don't want you to bow on work requirements? What's your position?
I don't bow to anybody.
The agreement has to pass the House and Senate by June 5th. That's the date the Treasury now expects the government to run out of money to pay its bills. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Well, both chambers are in recess for the Memorial Day holiday, and while members can be called back to vote, it makes getting it passed in time even more complicated. Lawmakers will have 72 hours to read the bill before taking vote. While the annual Rolling to Remember motorcycle ride through the nation's capital marked its anniversary this weekend after being held virtually since the pandemic. Rolling to Remember is a Memorial Day motorcycle ride into D.C. It's a patriotic display in order to honor our veterans and also to remember those lost or missing soldiers from our nation's conflicts. These heroes from across North America that ride into town for this annual event represent all types of their fellow soldiers. That includes sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guardsmen, firefighter, rescue personnel, and law enforcement officers. Their presence makes the event especially memorable for riders and spectators. Also in D.C., Arlington National Cemetery hosted its second Flowers of Remembrance Day at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. The public was invited to place a flower at the tomb to honor the unknown soldiers who have served and sacrificed their lives for the United States. Officials decided to open up this opportunity to the public after the response at the inaugural Flowers of Remembrance last year. And we'll be right back.
At Batteries Plus, we power family road trips. We power bedtime stories. We power our local hospitals. We power connections with friends. We do more than replace batteries and fix phones and tablets. We help our neighbors power their lives. How powerful is that? Need a phone fixed? We got it. Get powered in-store, curbside, and at batteriesplus.com.
This time of year has many different names. We call it Showtime. It's when there's work to be done and fun to be had. Plus, it's time for Auto Show, where you can experience new Ford SUVs firsthand. Then head to your Northland Ford dealers for exclusive offers like 0% financing for 36 months, plus $1,000 in open trade assist on select Ford SUVs. It's showtime. Hurry in today. Now for a limited time only, get 0% financing for 36 months, plus $1,000 in open trade assist on select Ford SUVs. Only at your Northland Ford dealers.
I'm going to Shields.
Hey, Dad.
I'm coming too.
Guess we're all going to Shields.
Awesome. They have my bat.
I love these shoes.
Mom, look. No way. They have it.
We can use our gift cards.
Hey, guys. We're here.
Shields Visa and Shields, the perfect combination for your favorite day.
Does your pet show signs of an irritated mouth like bad breath or abnormal chewing habits? The most common emergency that Dr. Mark Hine at Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics sees is a painful tooth that owners are seldom aware of. Contact Dr. Mark Hine at Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics in Holmen today to schedule a free dental exam. 608-526-2200, because nobody likes a sore tooth.
Well, health officials in Washington state are warning some Taco Bell customers that they might have been exposed to hepatitis A. The health alert comes as some call on the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to recommend that all restaurant workers be vaccinated against the virus.
Larry and Diane Vest were regulars at Famous Anthony's in Roanoke, Virginia. They knew the staff there by name. In 2021, one of those workers was unknowingly infected with hepatitis A, a virus easily spread through contact.
Whether it be a table or a doorknob, a menu, they actually worked in the kitchen itself. So they were a little bit all over the place. And you just don't know.
Weeks later, Scott Vest's stepmother was dead from complications of hepatitis A. Then his father passed away. Seattle food safety attorney Bill Marler is now pushing for all restaurant workers to be vaccinated for Hep A.
If they do contract the disease, they're producing the virus at a time when they're not actually sick. And by the time they're sick, they've already been spreading it.
At the busy Portage Bay Cafe, owners would like all employees to be vaccinated, but they question if potential hires would be able to find those vaccination records and say the Restaurant Association would likely push back against a mandate.
Do we need to raise prices because we are now having to go through extra steps in clearing people, making it harder for us to hire? That's going to have an effect on whether or not this actually happens.
Marler meets with policymakers at the CDC next month and is hoping they'll recommend the shot, if not require it. Vest hopes it becomes policy, even though it's too late to save his parents.
We were looking forward to having them down and enjoying the sunshine down here in Florida, and unfortunately that just that didn't happen, got taken away from us.
Molly Shen, Como News.
Come explore and plan your next home improvement project at the Board Store Home Improvement's historic 8-building showroom, 524 Copeland Avenue, La Crosse.
This Monday, one day only, earn a 25-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $50 you spend. That's a 25-cent fuel saver for every $50. Monday only, and only at Hy-Vee.
Roast beef. 4 for $10. Yeah, you know. That classic Arby's. Roast beef. Roast beef. 4 for $10. Arby's. We have the meat.
The GMC Sierra with hands-free driving. Yeah, it rocks. Step up to GMC with 0.9% APR and no monthly payments for 90 days on Sierra light-duty models.
Visit your best choice GMC dealer today.
When your back pain is your foot's fault. This is Dean's story.
I had back pain, and I honestly didn't know where to go.
Until a friend suggested the Good Feet store.
She had to explain to me the feet are connected to the back.
And get this.
As soon as I put on those Good Feet arch supports, the pressure lifted off my back. It's like finding that missing puzzle piece. Like, yes, this is it.
Stop by for your free fitting at the Good Feet store.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Non-drowsy Claritin knocks out symptoms from over 200 allergens without knocking you out. Feel the clarity and make today the most wonderful time of the year. Live Claritin Clear.
This Monday, one day only, earn a 25-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $50 you spend. That's a 25-cent fuel saver for every $50. Monday only, and only at Hy-Vee.
Good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Gary Canulti. The bottom line in our forecast, looking pretty nice. Very warm conditions for Memorial Day and for Tuesday as well, with high temperatures in the middle to upper 80s. Hot weather comes in for Wednesday and Thursday. High temperatures around or just above 90 degrees. Might even be that warm into Friday as well. There will be some chances for mainly afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Probably the better chances will be on Thursday and Friday. But for Memorial Day itself, we're looking for a great day. High temperature around 84 in La Crosse. Winds pretty light from the southeast, and the humidity will stay low, which makes it feel very comfortable. No rain across our part of the Midwest, really about the only rain of consequences out to the west. And notice that is moving more toward the north than anything else. And that's because the upper level winds are driving the precipitation that way. Now, it was kind of cool across the upper Midwest again last night. Not as cool as previous nights, but still many locations dropped into the 40s. La Crosse was in the lower 50s, but out to the west of the Mississippi River, most areas stayed in the 50s overnight. And current temperatures are in the 80s to upper 70s. The warmest weather probably in a narrow band from central Iowa into western Minnesota. That will shift eastward over the next couple of days, so our temperatures will go up accordingly. But the air is still very dry. We're still looking at dew points in the mid-30s to the lower 40s. That not only keeps the precipitation away, but it also starts to dry out the ground. And our grass is starting to turn a little brown. We could probably use some rain. But again, those showers out to the west are heading more toward the north because the jet stream winds are sending it in that direction. And notice the jet streams kind of coming together. Where that happens, the air sinks, and that's what dries it out, and that's exactly where we are. So until this weather pattern can shift either one way or the other, we're going to stay with mainly dry weather and a warm-up, too. Southeastern part of the country, some showers and thunderstorms. A lot of showers and spotty thunderstorms out west. They could actually use the rain there, but around here, we're just staying warm and dry with high pressure still anchored across the northern part of the Midwest, and that's not going to move for at least another day or two. So those temperatures, again, mainly in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees, a little warmer out to the west. That warm air is heading in our direction. You can see this on Future Track. Notice the sky is staying partly cloudy overnight. Low temperatures dropping into the middle 50s. High temperatures tomorrow, middle 80s. again, a couple degrees warmer to the west. But notice those rain showers and thunderstorms. They get about as far as the Twin Cities, and then that's it. The air across Wisconsin and southeastern Minnesota, pretty dry. The next batch of showers and storms on Tuesday develops out to the west, but we probably won't see those until Wednesday as well. Future track precipitation, not looking at anything really for the first part of the week, and then maybe some spotty showers and thunderstorms, bringing some light precipitation amounts for the end of the week. 8 to 14-day temperature outlook, still calling for below normal temperatures, but the higher probabilities will be to our south and below normal precipitation as the dry trend continues. In the 7 to 10-day forecast, temperatures are going to be in the 90s for Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe Friday as well. Again, with those spotty thunderstorm chances, and then maybe another chance for thunderstorms late Monday. Temperatures will turn cooler, dropping back in the middle 70s by the middle of next week.
That was meteorologist Gary Canalti. He's helping us out from our sister station in Madison. Thanks, Gary. Well, millions of Americans are playing in the water at pools, beaches, and rivers, enjoying those nice temperatures, but a shortage of lifeguards could make this a dangerous Memorial Day holiday.
Children make a splash in Los Angeles.
It's fun and relaxing.
In Washington, D.C., Mayor Muriel Bowser kicks off the city's summer pool season, and thousands flock to Florida beaches. Americans just want to be in the water.
They try to rush me out because they know that the faster we get here, the more they get to be in the pool.
But with increased demand comes danger. New York City is facing its worst lifeguard shortage on record, with roughly a third of what it needs this summer. The situation is so critical nationwide that about half of the country's 309,000 public pools will be forced to close or reduce hours, according to the American Lifeguard Association.
It is more than just a summer job. Lifeguards have a unique advantage of letting people know that there's danger and to stay out of that danger.
Wyatt Warneth, who patrols some of Florida's beaches, says your chance of drowning in front of a lifeguard is about 1 in 18 million. Still, with low salaries, a lack of qualified applicants, and rigorous testing, it's tough to find lifeguards.
The lifeguard shortage could get worse as summer months continue, so many cities are offering up incentives. In Phoenix, for example, lifeguards are getting $3,000 bonuses. Elise Preston, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, News 8 Now learned last week the lacrosse pools are still looking for 10 to 15 lifeguards, but community members here in town can expect the pools to open their doors on June 3rd still. So get outside, enjoy that sunshine this week, and we'll see you back here again at 10.